I believe back then, in my opinion, that the Sega Genesis had a much better graphics than the Super Nintendo.
Well, that's because it had graphics processing.
Is that what it was?
No, that's what they said on the commercials.
Oh, yeah. The Nintendo model?
Sega does what Nintendo.
Exactly.
Yeah. Graphics processing or blast processing, I think is what it's called. Yeah, blast processing.
That's hilarious.
Which is nothing. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer drop of all the collection of the Ninja Turtles games coming to all consoles.
And I'm really extremely excited in regards to playing these games over.
Me too, yeah, me too. I have fond memories of all these games actually.
Yeah, so do I.
What was the retail price on this?
$39.99?
That's actually not a bad deal.
It's not a bad deal.
For anyone who collects retro games, tracking these down, you already know, is very expensive. So being able to have this whole collection and being able to play it on whatever platform you own, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, unfortunately these games are expensive, and once you guys will experience these games on the new consoles or even the Nintendo Switch, you guys will have the opportunity what we grew up with.
So anyone who's seen the trailer, if you look at the very end of the trailer, they show artwork for all the games that are coming out. I believe it's the trilogy set from the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo version, all three Game Boy versions, this Genesis copy, and then the Tournament Fighters.
And let's not forget Turtles 2, the arcade game.
Yes, so they're including the arcade versions as well, correct?
Yes.
That's a pretty good collection, and it's called
the Cowabunga collection.
Well, Cowabunga, I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I mean, I used to say that as a kid in elementary.
So did I.
So
I love the movies, I love the cartoons, I love the video games.
So do I. It brings back wonderful memories for me of watching the show after school.
Yeah, I remember me and my brother, we had the figures, we had the video games, we watched the cartoon, we ate the cereal. Pretty much anything Ninja Turtles related.
Yeah.
What do you remember?
What I recall is the same, kind of similar memories. Us going to the store, we would go to Toys R Us, and guess what? There was a section full of turtles.
Yeah, Turtles Mania was crazy.
It was, wasn't it?
I think the low point for me though was when they started doing the tour.
What happened with the tour?
With the singing Ninja Turtles? I remember it was like a band. For me, that was the low point. I was like, okay, y'all hit rock bottom. Y'all hit rock bottom, you're doing a tour. But if you think about it, it was smart because a lot of kids did go to that. Sure, they made plenty of money off of it.
I'm sure they did. I don't even recall, but now I'm thinking, you know what?
It was right after.
You're right.
It was right after Ninja Turtles 3, which wasn't the best movie.
It was not.
It was the same suits that they wore. It looked almost similar to that, but a little worse. I don't know if you recall. If you look it up, you're going to see the Ninja Turtles, and they don't look like the Ninja Turtles we remember.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty bad.
Well, let's not continue on with that conversation. let's come over here, man. Let's go. Let's talk about this. Like,
keep up with the good times?
For sure, man. Right? Totally. Going back to the collection of the trailer, even though it's one of the best trailers that I've seen this year in regards to collection. Never thought that I would ever hear Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games coming out or re-releasing. Did you really?
A collection like this, where it's all these old games that we grew up with? No, I never thought I'd see anything like that. I was blown away when I watched the trailer. I was like, there's no way that all of these games are really coming out. Like, I've been trying to track down a lot of them. I mean, like, you have a few, I have a few.
Yes.
I don't have all of them. Tournament Fighters was one I've really never played. I don't know if you ever did.
I briefly played it back in 1995.
Having this collection of such classic games, I never thought I'd see something like that.
And I'm glad we're having this now. And the good part about this whole trailer is that finding out the pricing later on.
Yeah, $39.99 is actually not a bad price if you think about if you had to track down these games. I mean, just the cost of one, you could buy 3 versions of that game.
That is so true. Billy, if I would have known this trailer was going to come out, guess what I would have done last year? I would have saved about $400.
The arcade one up.
You know what I'm talking about.
I think there's 2 versions of that now.
Unfortunately. Why I'm saying this, guys, is because those arcade one-ups are a little bit pricey, and if I would have known that this trailer would have come out.
And they're just getting pricier too.
Yeah, so Turtles 2, the arcade game, guys, if I would have known that it was gonna come with this collection, I would have saved a lot of money, because Turtles 2 is one of my favorite arcade games that I grew up with. We grew up with.
I do remember going to the arcades. I played with my dad. I think we spent $20 in quarters. just to beat the game. And it was just me and my dad. We just had fun just sitting there playing it. Now when it came to NES, then it was me and my brother playing 8-bit version, but it was still cool to have that at home, and then we would play that constantly.
And the difference between the arcade machine that you played with your father was that they added additional stages to this game. What I realized about the Turtles 2, the arcade game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, kids back then didn't enjoy playing this game because of the graphics, that it wasn't matching on the arcade.
Which is why this one sold a lot more, because it matched more of what the arcade
looked like. As you guys can see here, Turtles 1, we talked in our previous video, is that when we got this for our birthday, my brother and I, we were sold by the cover itself. It was a lot different than what we imagined it to be.
So yeah, what I remember from the first game is the music was great. The graphics weren't bad. You could select between each of the 4 turtles as you're running out of life. But the worst part of the game for me was the dam section. Trying to disable the bombs, trying not to touch anything on the side, being able to swim just right to get through the stage.
And you know, growing up as a kid, you were just pressing the button and making sure
freaking out.
Yes.
Did you ever beat that game?
I did. And my brother used to always choose Donatello because it was one of the best characters in the game.
Donatello and...
What's the strongest one? One of the strongest ones.
Right after that would probably be Leonardo.
Yes.
Just because of their reach. And Michelangelo and Raphael, unfortunately, were not that great in the game. And if you notice, the artwork on this one matches more of the original comics from Mirage.
Which I didn't know at that time. Going back to my memories of playing this game is one of the games that I would never forget. And of course, owning this version will have something special in my heart. Even though this was tough for me back then because there was no rewind feature. But check this out. The trailer did advise everyone that there's going to come a rewind
That's going to help a lot. I don't want to say it's cheating, but it does help. Especially for games like that. Those were really tough games.
Yeah.
Well, that one was. Now let's move over to Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
This is one of my favorites.
Mine as well. I remember playing that one, like I said, with my brother a lot, and we played it and beat it I don't know how many times. It was a great game.
Yeah, Turtles 2, the arcade game. What more can you say? It's one of the best games on the Nintendo library.
It's up there with my favorites. Now, Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project. Unfortunately, we don't have that one here. That is a very hard one to track down. And what they did was they took the same elements of side-scrolling beat-em-up and put it into that game with a different storyline. Graphics were a lot better power-ups to use. Each character had their own. I thought it was actually a really great game. We played that one quite a bit.
It's like an improvement. I think it was based on New York. The city was actually
taken up, and then they had to try to
save
New York, fight Shredder. Now, moving over to the Game Boy, we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan, and there was actually 2 other titles, Back from the Sewers and Radical Rescue was the 3rd game in the series.
I never owned Back to the Sewers game or Radical Rescue, so I'm looking forward with this collection.
It'll be my first time, and yours, I guess, too,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is the only version I've ever played.
Me too. I love this game. This game was one of my favorites of traveling with my parents to the store and just playing and taking our Game Boy. It had some hidden secrets that we were surprised. Like, you know, you just hit a barrel, you damage the barrel, and then there's a secret section to have, I believe, like your life, your power. What more can I say about this game? It's action-packed, can't go wrong.
Okay, so the only title left that I believe was on the NES for Ninja Turtles was Tournament Fighters.
Which I never had the opportunity to play.
Neither did I. It was a fighting game. So moving on to the Super Nintendo, we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time.
Yes.
It took the same aspect of Ninja Turtles from the arcade and put it at a home console. And it was great. The graphics were amazing. You had 2 versions. For the graphics, there was the arcade and then the comic book. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, you could change them to either look comic book-like or arcade.
Wow. Honestly, what I recall about this game when my dad bought me this game was that I didn't know that Turtles 4 was in the arcades. I wasn't aware of it.
So this title was amazing.
This was one of the first interactions of you throwing the Foot Clan soldiers.
Right at the screen, yes. If you hit the enemy and you got close enough, you could smash them back and forth. You could take out other enemies in the area. Or if you hit them and, I guess, hit it just right, it would throw them right at the screen, which would make it more like a 3D look to it, which I thought was great.
It's a fantastic game. I believe out of all the Turtle games that I ever played, I think this could be the top.
Yeah, this one's one of my favorites.
Either way it goes, the arcade machine that I have, the arcade 1-up that comes with Turtles 4, and Turtles 2. That is why I purchased it, because of those 2 games.
That was one of the reasons why I wanted to purchase one.
But what I liked about it, playing the arcade game in the past, is having 3 additional players same time that you're playing.
The only other Super Nintendo Ninja Turtles title was the Tournament Fighters as well.
Yes. I rented that game back then. I briefly played it. I had a little bit of a Street Fighter vibe on it. In the end, it didn't attract my attention
As much as this one.
Yes.
Yeah. So moving on to the Genesis, we had this version, Hyperstone Heist, which was basically another
version of the
version
Turtles
of
4.
the Ninja Turtles. Yes, same concept, arcade version.
Beat 'em up.
Beat 'em up. This one I actually never played until way later.
I think back then I was biased, guys, because I was on Nintendo. I did own a Sega Genesis back then when Sonic was included with the packet, but I was shocked that this came out on the Genesis. I didn't find out till like later on. So that is why this collection, really, I'm truly excited, because this is going to be the first game I'm actually going to be playing.
I did finally play it. It's just as
Is it
good
good?
as this one. Like, these two would be in my top.
Oh, got
Ninja
it.
Turtle titles, just because this one
Wow,
does.
you got me pumped. I want to get.
Yeah, this one does play just like this
Yeah.
one. The graphics are similar, but you remember how Genesis graphics were a little bit different than the
Yes.
Super Nintendo. So the only other version of a Ninja Turtles game on the Genesis was also Tournament Fighters.
I never played it.
I never did either. So moving forward from these games, I think it took a while before there was really any other Ninja Turtles games.
You know, I think my love of the Turtles may fade away because I was younger at that time. But growing up, I think kind of gone away. with
Yeah,
these
I mean
type
the titles
Does that
got the titles got or the movies. I think there was one other movie, which was the animated one, and there was the TV show. And it's not anything against those.
No.
It's just that being a little older, we kind of hold what we grew up with more than the newer stuff. If
Correct.
that makes any sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Like if you notice the Ninja Turtles Party Wagon, which mimics the original, and the same thing with the figures that are down there, those are the ones we grew up with. So anything newer.
Who was your favorite turtle that you liked?
So my favorite was Raphael.
Okay.
Raphael was always my favorite Ninja Turtle. My brother's was Michelangelo.
They had a little tension to Leonardo because I love Leonardo as a kid. But I think there was some tension between Leonardo and Raphael.
Oh,
Is
there's
that correct?
always tension. Leonardo was always the leader. Raphael was always like, well, why are you the leader?
He wanted to lead,
Why
right?
can't I lead?
Oh, okay.
But he was such a hothead, kind of hard for him to lead.
What a great storyline, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, but he was always a great fighter. That's what I liked about him. And I liked the fact that he used Sai.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty cool. My brother liked Michelangelo because he was the party dude, right? It was all about pizza, and he used nunchucks.
Yeah.
What about you?
My brother loved Donatello because he was smart, and my brother was smart.
Oh, Donatello was the smart one.
And he liked how he could create things, you know, building machines.
Donatello does machines.
For the cartoon song.
Yeah, exactly. Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines.
Yeah.
Raphael is cool but rude.
Yes.
And Michelangelo is a party dude.
Man, that made my day, dude. That made my day. But I always...
You cannot get that theme song out of your head.
I gotta rewatch that.
That's a
episodes,
great
guys.
theme
I
song.
gotta rewatch the episodes again.
Just the intro for that show was always the best.
I
The
agree,
intro
I
was the
agree.
best. The song was so catchy that I still remember it how many years later?
So true. Just like you bring it to my attention right now. I always enjoyed Leonardo. I thought he was one of the best turtles, just protecting his brothers. I love that about him.
Yeah, he was the leader.
And let's not forget about April O'Neil. I thought she was a good character.
Yeah, she was their lead into everything above ground. So I thought that was kind of cool, a way to keep the turtles in the sewers but still have access to somebody from the human world, even though they still left whenever they wanted to and get in trouble with Splinter all the time.
Even though you guys know that Leonardo is one of my favorite characters, but as a kid, there was an action figure that I was in love with.
Don't say Casey Jones. Yes, I loved Casey Jones, and
Only because they had more accessories. That's what I loved about it. But then watching the movie, the first Turtle movie, that's Casey Jones.
I like that actor though that played Casey Jones.
That's just my opinion. I'm like, oh, come on.
Then from the first movie to the second, they changed the April.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they changed the April character, but she's in both the second and third movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Now don't forget another character that I liked, Usagi Yojimbo,
Who's that?
the rabbit. He
The
was a
rabbit?
samurai. Yeah, he was a samurai rabbit. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was another favorite figure that I had.
Oh, man, I'm getting goosebumps just remembering my
all
turtle
that stuff?
history
Yeah.
back then.
What was it? Bebop and Rocksteady were great.
Yes.
Shredder was good. I mean, my brother, I think, still has a lot of these figures.
Oh, yeah?
From back in the day. I bought the newer versions, like these.
The reissue ones.
Just because it holds a lot of fond memories. So that's why this trailer, when it dropped, and just seeing all the different games that were going to be in it, blew me away. I'm not going to gonna lie, like I almost wanted to text you immediately and say, like, bro, what's going on here? Like I had no idea. Did you have any clue that this was coming out?
I wasn't aware. I didn't find out till like late at night.
Yeah, I was same thing. Going through YouTube, and all of a sudden it was like, there's a Cowabunga collection. I'm like, what is that? And it's from the PlayStation YouTube page.
From the State of Play?
So then I click on it, and all of a sudden I see all these games that I remember as a kid, and then the arcade titles and all this stuff, and I'm like, there's no way. Like all these games, and then they start like I said at the end, they start showing all the box art as it's passing through the screen, and I even paused it and kept looking. Like, they basically brought every title I've ever played all in one collection, and I'm like, wow. Now I have to figure out what system am I gonna buy it for.
It didn't include like the systems until like days later. PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4,
the Xbox Series X, the Switch, PC for Windows, and then also Steam. Yeah, so you have access to anybody has
popular,
access to this.
Platform that you guys play. For me personally, I'm gonna get it on a Nintendo Switch. Now, let me ask you something, Billy. Do you think it will be a digital version or it'll be a physical copy?
So with me, you already know how I find my games. I'm very, very big on physical. So I'm hoping that they do, release a physical copy of this.
I agree with you too. I would like it to. I would like to get mine in a physical copy as well.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know in the comments below. But I'm very big on physical items, and the reason for that being is that, let me give you a good example. On the Xbox 360, there was a download of the Ninja Turtles game, correct? Okay, so now they lost the licensing, and unless you have it downloaded, you can never play that game on the 360. So digital, to me, it's too finicky. Physical copy, I can keep it, it's mine, I own it, no matter what. I'm hoping that they'll come out with a physical copy. I myself will buy it digitally. Sure, you will too.
Of course.
But if a physical copy comes out, believe me, I will be buying that, and I will be opening that here on this channel. Believe me, that is going to be amazing. Okay, so I know I said a lot about what I thought of the trailer, but what did you think?
It was fantastic. It was. I cannot wait to experience this collection. I'm actually going to replay some of the old games that I grew up with. The most important games that I want to try out is Hyperstone Heist. I want to play for the first time Back from the Sewers. And the third game, of course, is the Radical Rescue. But keep this in mind, guys, that just because this Cowabunga trailer that I enjoyed watching, there's actually another game that I want to play for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Do you know what it is, Billy?
Oh, the Shredder's Revenge. Yeah, we brought that up earlier, but yes, they keep dropping trailers, but no release date.
But it's 2022.
I hope it's 2022. I mean, that's the other thing. Do we know the release date of this
Not yet.
Cowabunga collection?
Not that I'm aware of.
When that does drop, believe me, I will be trying to go ahead and put up a video of us actually playing these games.
That would be amazing.
Kind of give you our feedback of what we think. Hopefully they translate well to the system for us to be able to still have that good nostalgia.
Yep, I agree on that.
Hey guys, so let me know in the comments below. You guys are excited as we are about the Cowabunga collection coming to whatever system that you're going to end up playing it on.
Play this game, guys.
Let me know what system you will be purchasing this on. Like I said, I'll be buying it on the PS5. You'll be getting it on the Switch. Once you guys actually try these games out, if you never have back in the day, let us know what you think. Don't forget to show the channel some love. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell for new videos coming out. And we'll see you guys next time.